This was actually talked about a couple of times today, so it's good that you don't have to believe me. You can believe all the guys that came before me, but it's math. It's math and it's gravity. This stuff works. So there's a couple of principles here that that's gonna be the foundation of this, right? We heard about this today already. Small, consistent actions have massive results, right? All you have to do is get 1% better every day, and you're gonna have massive results, guaranteed. If you're 1 degree off on a compass and you go for 100 miles, 1 degree off, you're gonna be massively away from where you need to be, right? So just remember that on a daily basis, small, consistent actions are gonna have massive results. What you focus on expands. Whatever you're focusing on, so many people talked about mindset, right? If you focus on positivity and gratitude, that's gonna expand in your life. If you focus on negativity, it's gonna expand in your life. So the daily actions that you focus on are also gonna expand in the results. And then measure what matters. I don't know if we measure enough of the things that we do in our life, but if you're measuring it, then it means it matters, right? If you have a weight loss goal and you measure your weight every day, you're more likely to meet that goal versus just kind of hoping that it happens, right? So whatever it is, measure it on a daily basis. I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna give you guys a tool to take away to do that after we're done here and with the follow-up email. Oh, had one more, and time discipline. Talked about that multiple times today, right? That is necessary. If you can apply these 4 principles to your business, guaranteed you'll be making multiple hundred thousands of dollars a year. It's just gravity. So here's the way. Here's a plan on how to make $100,000 a year. You guys ready for this? I've paid a lot of money to learn how to do this, all right? You have to sell 1 house per month. That's it. Can we do that? Okay. Here. How about if you want to make 200 grand a year? Guess what you got to do? You got to sell 2 houses per month. All right? And then if you're like super ambitious and you want to make 300 grand, what do you got to do? Sell 3 houses per month, right? And if you want to make 400 grand, right? So this applies to wherever you're at in your business, you guys. If you want to make your first 100 grand, or you want to get to 200 or 300 or 400, you sell 4 houses per month, and you get there, okay?
Get a hotel. Oh wait, that's Monopoly.
Yeah, that's Monopoly, yeah. All right? So here's the math, just so if you like the math, you can kind of understand how this breaks down, right? On average, $500,000 purchase price. Most of us, that price point is going to be higher. If you're in Hilo or a lower price pointed area, it's a good number to use, right? So if anything, this is conservative. 2.5% commission, the least you should be getting paid. You're probably going to be making 2.7%, 3% on some deals. That's a $12,500 gross commission, right? If you're making 80% of that with costs with your brokerage and other things, that's 10 grand per transaction. And then we multiply that by 12, and we get to 120,000, right? So that's the math on 1 house per month. If we multiply that out, you get to 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. It just goes up from there. I saw people at a conference doing 500 houses a year. I'm like, that's what I want to do, right? This year we'll do 600. So you just gotta apply the math, all right? So how do you sell 1 house per month? Everyone's like, oh, you make it sound so easy. It sounds so simple. How do you sell 1 house per month? Aaron already talked about this. You have 100 real estate conversations per month. That's all you got to do. Math. 100% of the time, if you have 100 real estate conversations per month, you will sell 1 house per month. Guaranteed. But then you ask, well, how do I have 100 real estate conversations per month? That seems hard. That seems complicated, right? You just have 25 per week. Aaron talked about this. Then you ask, like, 25 per week? How do I do 25 per week? Well, you do 5 per day. And I'm not even asking you to work 7 days a week, 5 days a week. If you have 5 conversations per day, is this an unreasonable thing to ask to do? Is it unreasonable to ask you to have 5 conversations a week? 5 conversations a day? I mean, think about it, right? When you're struggling and you're having a hard time, all you got to do at the end of the day is ask yourself, did I have my 5 conversations today? And if the answer is no, that's why you're in where you're at, right? So just think about, what do I got to do today to have 5 conversations? And it can be anything. It can be generating leads off of YouTube. It can be going to the grocery store. One of the agents on our team has one of the most ingenious lead generation plans I've ever heard. She goes to the grocery store. She finds somebody buying a vegetable that she's never seen before and doesn't know how to cook, and asks them, what are you doing with that vegetable? And they tell her. And she says, that sounds great. Here's my business card. Could you send me the recipe? Inbound lead generation. 100% of the times they send her the recipe via email. Now she's got another email address in her database, right? Ingenious. Like the grocery store thing. Like I was like, love that. It just works, right? But how are you gonna have 5 conversations every day? I don't know the answer to that. There's 100 different ways to do that. You can door knock, you can cold call, you can take Zillow calls, you can do YouTube, you can start up conversations on Instagram. I don't know what that is. I personally wear swag. This is like the one day a year I don't wear EXP swag. Everywhere I go, a acai bowl girl yesterday asked me about real estate when I was buying an acai bowl. Like everywhere I go, I generate a real estate conversation just off the clothes that I wear. Super, super simple. But you gotta find out what is your way to do that, because you all have different strengths and you all can do it, but you gotta figure out, that's the question I can answer for you, right? Is how you have those 5 conversations. All right. So how do you have 5 conversations a day? 2 to 3 hours of green time. And so this is what you're gonna get with the email and the videos that come out after this event. This is the spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets. You can't really see it, but I'm just gonna explain to you what it is. It's just a tracker. It's a spreadsheet that goes 30 days throughout the month, and it asks you a couple of different things. The first one is real estate conversations. How many did you have that day? Just put it down. How many leads did you add to your database? Doesn't necessarily have to be a conversation. It could be some kind of other inbound lead, that business card that you gave out, whatever it is. The next one is buyer consultation. So there's two things in business, right? There's leading indicators and there's lagging indicators, right? So a leading indicator are things like conversations, right? The amount of conversations you have is gonna drive the lagging indicators and the outcomes later on. And so the first 2 are leading indicators. If you're doing those things, if you're adding leads to your database and you're having conversations, they're gonna lead to 2 things. 1, buyer consultations, which is gonna get broken down into 3 more things. How many buyer's rep agreements do you have signed? With what's going on, you want to make sure you're having buyer's rep agreement signed so you make sure you get paid. How many leads have you sent to pre-qualify? This is a new tracking data point that we're using. Is I think probably the most important data point you can track outside of conversations is how many leads are you sending to your lender a day, a week, a month to get pre-qualified? Because here's another mathematical guarantee. If you send 1 lead that gets pre-qualified a week, right? You turn those 25 conversations into 1 lead that you send to get pre-qualified with your lender, I guarantee you will close 1 of them. 25% of them will convert, and it's probably gonna be 2, right? So that's the other goal, is did I send somebody to get pre-qualified this week? Guaranteed one real estate transaction a month. And then how many buyer pre-approvals, right? You may have to send 2 or 3 to get pre-qualified, and maybe 1 may come back. So again, leading indicator, lagging indicator, and outcome, right? So if you do a buyer seminar and 10 families come, maybe you send 3 to get pre-qualified, 1 actually gets pre-qualified, that's your 1 for the week. Next week we gotta get 1 more, right? So that's on the buy side. On the sell side, those conversations are gonna turn into listing appointments and listing contracts signed. Every 4 listing appointments you go on, you may get 1 listing contract signed. Depending on where you are in your career, that may be different, right? You may have more if you're further on in your career, you may have less if you're newer in your career, but you have to track that. How many listing appointments do I go on? People say, how do I get more listings? Go on more listing appointments. How do I go on more listing appointments? Have more conversations, right? It all works its way back up to the top about having conversations. There's no secret sauce. There's nobody you can pay. There's no secret lead generation program out there. It's all about having conversations. And then social posts and emails to database. That's green time, right? Nowadays, it's a way to generate conversations. You want to be active on social media and you want to send emails out to your database. How many of you guys have a database that you don't email? You guys are all liars, right? By far the easiest, laziest thing you can do in life is just send 1 email a week to your database. That's my secret sauce to sell 600 houses, is I sell 1 email a week to 50,000 people. Like, that's it. 1 or 2 of them are gonna buy every single week. It's just like math, right? You have to communicate, and all you have to do is spend 10 minutes figuring out what am I gonna send to them, something of value that everybody talked about. Gotta be valuable, it has to be valuable, not like the canned market update that you get from the MLS or whatever. It's gotta be something that, like Derek guys talked about, something authentic, something valuable, something that's gonna be interesting. Hopefully a video, you guys, hopefully a video. That's even better if you wanna convert off your database, but you have to email your database. And then there's blue time and red time, right? Blue time is personal development and minutes. I like to put exercise in there. I think if you're not exercising your body on a daily basis, your mind is not gonna be sharp, right? So that's just my opinion, but you should be doing something to take care of yourself. And then any type of personal family time is in there, right? Shouldn't bleed into your green time, but how much time are you spending on those things? And then red time is admin. Like, we're all gonna do admin stuff. The more of that you can outsource, the better. But the majority of your time shouldn't be spent on administrative things, right? It should be spent on green things, all the stuff at the top. But track how much time you spend, especially if you're early in your career and you don't have the money to spend on assistants. Track how much time you spend, because if you're spending 10, 15, 20 hours a week at administrative tasks, You're gonna shock yourself because now you're measuring what matters. And administrative tasks, how much do you gotta get paid an hour to make 100 grand a year? Man, you should know this. $50 an hour, right? So if I got it, but this is math, right? We gotta know the math behind it. So if that's your per hour rate and you can spend $10 an hour, $12 an hour, $15 an hour, $30 an hour paying somebody else to do it, now you've netted whatever money you got back, right? It's not a loss, it's a gain. People think about it the wrong way. If I can spend $15 an hour getting somebody to do my yard that takes me 2 hours, I just got $100 in time back, and even though it cost me $30, I made $70, right? So that's the way we gotta think about our time, is time discipline. And the only way we figure that out is by tracking it. The only way you know and the only way you feel the pain is if you track it. So we gotta track our time. You guys are gonna get this 30 days a week, or 30 days a month, it goes all the way out. At the end, it'll total it all up for you. I guarantee if you do this and you're disciplined about it and you track it, you'll see massive outcomes. Maybe not month 1, maybe not month 2, but 3, 4, and 5, the outcomes are gonna start coming pretty quickly, and this is gonna be the reason for it, all right? So this is coming for you guys. All right, here we go, almost done. How do you sell 2, 3, or 4 homes per month? Here's the crazy secret sauce, you guys. You just have 100 real estate conversations. You don't have to have 2, 3, 4, 500 real estate conversations, and this is why. Because you're gonna get better at it. In the beginning, you're gonna suck. We all sucked in the beginning, right? That 100 conversations is only gonna turn into 1 closing because you're just not that good at it. You're not that smart yet. You don't know what questions to ask. Come to my scripts training. I'll show you all the ways to build an amazing rapport with somebody in 3 minutes on the phone, the first phone call. Those are all things that you can do, but the only way you get better at it is you do it, right? If you're avoiding having conversations because you don't feel like you're good at it, you're never gonna get better at it, right? So your conversion will go up. The more conversation, if you that 100 conversations, now you can convert 2. Eventually you're gonna convert 3. Eventually those people are gonna become repeat customers and referral customers, and those 100 conversations are gonna generate 2 or 3 more transactions. You don't have to do more conversations. That's the magic to this whole system. Is year 1, it may take you 100 a month, but year 2, it's not gonna take you 100 a month, I guarantee it, if you did 100 a month the first year. Make sense? You're raising your hand, Derek? What you doing? Okay. So the second one, I just talked about this, deals have babies, right? You have to do deals in order to make more deals. Like it's math, it's gravity. I've already been talking to agents like in year 2, and they're like, oh my goodness, I got my first listing from a sale I did 9 months ago, right? It happens all the time. And then people are gonna refer you, and then you're gonna get momentum. We talked about momentum earlier. In the beginning, it's hard. We do stuff, we grind, we don't see any results. It's super, super hard. It's hard to persevere. It's hard to have resilience, but we have to do that in order to get momentum. And once the momentum starts, as long as you don't stop, because that's the other issue that we have, is we're like, oh, I made 150 grand last year. I'm going to Vegas and I'm going to Louis Vuitton and right? And all of the things, right? And you stop for 2 months and you kind of chill out, and then now you've lost all your momentum, and then now for 6 months you didn't get paid and you're freaking out again. The only thing that has been consistent in my life is I never stop. Like I never ever stop. I wake up every single morning. There's no down days. I go on vacation, but I still work. Like it never stops. And we talked about work-life balance before. I also don't believe there's work-life balance, right? I'm gonna work my ass off for the next 5 years so I don't ever have to work again the rest of my life, right? I'm not gonna work like 50-50 for the next 25 years. I don't want balance. I want like extreme, not out of balance on this side, so there's extreme, I don't have to work on the backside. So it's all about your mindset, and it's about keeping your momentum. All right, you guys only have 2 problems. You lack consistency and you lack action. That's your only 2 problems in your life to achieve 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 a year. That's it. So I can guarantee that if we have a conversation and you're having trouble, it's gonna come down to one of these 2 things, right? You're either taking action, but you're not doing it consistently, or you're doing things consistent, but it's like the wrong action, right? You're focusing on the wrong things, like you're doing your own transaction management or something like that. So let's have a conversation. Always go look back. If I'm having trouble, evaluate, am I being consistent and am I taking the correct actions? So last thing, and we're done. Everything works and nothing doesn't, you guys. You heard a lot of different strategies today. You're gonna get a lot of different advice. There's a lot of different people you can pay for advice. But at the end of the day, Everything works if you do it consistently and you take action. Nothing doesn't, right? Every time you do nothing, every day that goes by that you did nothing, guaranteed no outcome. Done is better than perfect. Everybody loves this, but this is what holds the majority of people back, is they're waiting for the time to be perfect, the social media post to be perfect, your hair to be perfect. They're waiting for perfection and don't get anything ever done. Monica had to go through my slides. She found like 17 typos. I was gonna roll with it this morning. I mean, like, kind of like you would think I didn't graduate high school, but you know what? My slide deck was done and I was gonna deliver it with fire, right? I don't care. I mean, she only does it because she doesn't want to be embarrassed. She spell checks my stuff. But done is always better than perfect. My done action will beat your perfect action every single day of the week that you didn't do, right? All right. Focus on the process, not the outcome. Man, everybody talked about this and I love it, right? Focus on the 5 calls a day, never mind the 100,000. The 100,000 will come and it's gonna far exceed that 100,000. But if you focus on doing the 5 conversations a day, whatever it is, don't worry about the outcome, it's gonna come. And finally, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. It's all about how you wake up in the morning and you think, you know, today's not the day. I don't think I know anybody to call today. I can have those conversations today. You're absolutely right. If you wake up in the morning and say, I'm gonna go to the grocery store and ask people how to cook vegetables, you're gonna have those 5 conversations and you're right. So it's all about mindset, it's all about what you believe in, it's about getting rid of those limiting beliefs. And y'all, who's gonna make 100K in 2024? All right. And finally, on the tracker, if your coach or your accountability partner or whoever it is doesn't have a tool, just use that and tell them, I want to show this to you every week and I want you to hold me accountable. I'll do that for you. Andrew will do that for you. There's plenty of people in this room that will do that for you. Very few of you, the thing I know for sure, will ask us to do that for you, right? And that's the thing that's gonna hold you back, is you don't want accountability. You don't want somebody to tell you, you know what, you slacked off this week. You don't wanna hear that. But if you want to, let me know, because I'll be there for you. And finally, I just wanna thank our speakers. Thank you guys. We couldn't do this without you guys. I learned a ton. I have pages of notes over here. Super stoked. Thank you guys for coming all the way from Tennessee. You guys are beautiful. Love you guys. Let's have a round of applause for all of our speakers. Again, to our sponsors, thank you guys for your contributions and your partnership in business. We could not do this without you. Our planning committee, you guys, our planning committee is amazing. Thank them. If you don't know who they are, find them out at the party, but thank them. And especially, I don't know if Monica's even here, my wife, I mean, she's amazing. She put so much time and energy into this. Oh, she is over here. She came back. She was like doing kids and stuff. Amazing. You guys don't want to see me cry, so I'm not going to talk about her. And to you guys, I love this day. I love spending time with you guys. I love the energy. I love the ambition. And we definitely wouldn't be here without you guys. If you guys didn't show up, I would stop doing it, right? But until you guys stop showing up, we're going to continue to do this. I think we might have dates already. We'll send it out in the email for the next one. And we'll see you guys out at the party. Thank you guys.